Scientists just proved that seniors who rely on family for happiness are actually setting themselves up for misery. The research is shocking, but what they found instead might be the most liberating news any older adult could hear. Are you making this devastating mistake with your golden years? Most people think happiness gets harder to find as we age. But here's something fascinating. Seniors who pick up hobbies report feeling more joy than they did in their younger years. The secret isn't complicated. It's about discovering activities that make your hands busy and your heart light. Take gardening, for instance. You might think it's just about pretty flowers and fresh vegetables. Wrong. When older adults spend time with soil and seeds, their stress levels drop dramatically. Blood pressure goes down too. Scientists have measured this stuff, and the numbers don't lie. There's something magical about watching a tiny seed transform into something alive and thriving under your care. But why does digging in dirt make people so happy? Well, gardening forces you to slow down. You can't rush a tomato plant. You can't demand that roses bloom faster. This natural pace becomes a form of meditation without all the fancy cushions and chanting. Then there's painting and drawing. You don't need to be the next Picasso to get the benefits. Even simple sketches or watercolor experiments can shift your entire mood. The weird part is how concentration improves when you're focused on getting that shade of blue just right. Your brain stops worrying about bills or doctor appointments. Instead, it gets completely absorbed in mixing colors or capturing the curve of a flower petal. Let's not forget music. Playing an instrument does something remarkable to aging brains. Piano keys become brain training in disguise. Guitar strings turn into memory exercises. Violins transform into focus workshops. Every note you play strengthens neural pathways. Your memory gets sharper, not just for music, but for everyday things like names, appointments, and where you left your reading glasses. Makes sense, right? Your fingers learn complex patterns while your brain juggles rhythm, melody, and timing. It's like a full-body workout for your mind, except way more enjoyable than push-ups. And the weird part is, you don't even need to be good at it. Terrible piano playing still gives your brain the same workout as beautiful piano playing. The joy comes from the process, not the performance. Crafting opens up another door entirely. Knitting isn't just about making scarves. Each completed row creates a tiny victory. Every finished project becomes proof that your hands can still create something beautiful and useful. There's deep satisfaction in starting with a ball of yarn and ending up with a blanket that will keep someone warm. But here's what's really interesting about crafting. It combines multiple benefits into one activity. Your hands stay nimble through repetitive motions. Your mind stays focused on patterns and counting. Your heart stays happy because you're making something meaningful. Plus, you end up with gifts that actually matter to people, not more stuff from the store. Learning any new hobby builds confidence in surprising ways. Remember being a kid and feeling proud after mastering something difficult. That feeling doesn't disappear when you get older. It just needs the right opportunity to resurface. When a 70-year-old learns to paint watercolors or play chess, they prove to themselves that their brain is still hungry for new challenges. This confidence boost ripples out into other areas of life. Someone who learns photography at age 65 might feel brave enough to join a camera club. Someone who takes up woodworking might start teaching their grandchildren basic carpentry skills. The beauty of discovering hobbies later in life is freedom from pressure. You're not trying to build a career or impress anyone. You're simply exploring what brings you joy. This removes the stress that often comes with learning new skills when you're younger and worried about success or failure. Many seniors report feeling more creative and adventurous with hobbies than they ever did when juggling work and raising families. Finally, having time to explore interests without deadline pressure creates space for genuine enjoyment and discovery. The research backs this up too. Studies show that seniors engaged in creative hobbies experience less anxiety, better sleep, and improved overall life satisfaction. They also tend to have stronger immune systems and recover faster from illness. Whether it's learning to bake sourdough bread, taking up bird watching, or trying your hand at pottery, each new hobby becomes a pathway to rediscovering parts of yourself that may have been dormant for decades. The key is choosing activities that genuinely interest you, not what others think you should try. Some hobbies work best when shared with others, creating opportunities for connection and friendship. Others provide peaceful solitude and personal reflection. Both types contribute to happiness in their own important ways. While hobbies offer incredible mental and emotional benefits, they work even better when combined with activities that get your body moving. The connection between physical activity and happiness creates another powerful tool for joyful aging. When did going for a walk become revolutionary? Well, according to researchers studying senior happiness, it basically is. Your body produces its own happiness chemicals called endorphins every time you move around. Think of them as nature's mood boosters, except they're completely free and don't require a prescription. Dancing might sound intimidating if you haven't done it since your wedding day. But here's the thing. Nobody's judging your moves at the community center. A study from Albert Einstein College of Medicine found that dancing reduced dementia risk by 76%. That's higher than any other physical activity they tested. The secret? Dancing forces your brain to make quick decisions about which foot goes where while keeping rhythm. It's like a workout for your mind and body at the same time. Then there's yoga, which sounds fancy, but really just means stretching with attitude. You don't need to twist yourself into a pretzel or a chant in Sanskrit. Simple stretches help improve balance, which becomes crucial as we age. Falls send over 300,000 seniors to the hospital each year, making balance training surprisingly practical. Plus, focusing on your breathing during yoga naturally calms racing thoughts. But why are we even talking about this? Because only 15% of U.S. seniors meet the basic physical activity guidelines. That means 85% are missing out on one of the most effective happiness boosters available. The guidelines aren't even that demanding, just 150 minutes of moderate activity per week. Break that down and you're looking at about 20 minutes a day. Walking counts as moderate activity, and it might be the most underrated antidepressant ever created. Research shows that a daily walk reduces anxiety levels in seniors more effectively than many medications. The rhythm of walking actually helps regulate your nervous system. Your breathing naturally syncs with your steps, creating a meditative effect without trying. And the weird part is, you don't need to walk far to see benefits. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research found that seniors who walk just 15 minutes daily showed significant mood improvements within 2 weeks. 15 minutes. That's shorter than most sitcoms. Swimming deserves special mention because it's gentle on joints while still providing a full body workout. Water supports your body weight, making movement easier for those with arthritis or joint pain. Many community pools offer senior swim hours with warmer water temperatures. The social aspect helps too. Regular swimmers often form friendships poolside. Let's not forget that physical activity doesn't always mean formal exercise. Gardening burns about 200 calories per hour while giving you fresh tomatoes. Cleaning the house counts as movement, though admittedly, it's less fun than dancing. Even playing with grandchildren gets your heart rate up, and their energy is surprisingly contagious. The mental benefits extend beyond just feeling good in the moment. Regular physical activity actually changes your brain structure. It increases the size of the hippocampus, the area responsible for memory and learning. Exercise also promotes the growth of new brain cells, something scientists once thought impossible in older adults. Weather shouldn't stop you either. Mall walking has become popular for good reason. It's climate-controlled, safe, and often social. Many malls open early specifically for walkers. The smooth floors are easy on joints, and window shopping adds entertainment value. Some malls even have marked walking routes with distance measurements. Group fitness classes designed for seniors take the guesswork out of exercise. Instructors understand physical limitations and offer modifications for every movement. Chair exercises work for those with mobility issues. Water aerobics feels playful rather than strenuous. These classes also provide built-in social interaction, combining physical and social benefits. The timing of exercise matters too. Morning physical activity helps regulate sleep patterns, leading to better rest at night. Better sleep improves mood, creates more energy for the next day, and helps with memory consolidation. It's a positive cycle that builds on itself. Fear often holds people back more than physical limitations do. Many seniors worry about injury or feel self-conscious about their fitness level. Starting slowly addresses both concerns. Even 5 minutes of movement daily creates a foundation for building up gradually. The goal isn't becoming an athlete, it's feeling better in your own skin. Research consistently shows that active seniors report higher life satisfaction scores than their sedentary peers. They sleep better, have more energy for other activities, and maintain independence longer. The physical benefits are obvious, but the psychological boost might be even more valuable. Your muscles have memory, even if you haven't exercised in years. Former athletes often surprise themselves with how quickly movement feels natural again. But even lifelong couch potatoes can develop new movement habits. The brain's plasticity means it's never too late to form positive associations with physical activity. Making movement enjoyable rather than obligatory changes everything. When exercise becomes something you look forward to rather than endure, consistency follows naturally. But there's another powerful happiness booster that doesn't require breaking a sweat at all. When your alarm clock stops dictating your life and retirement finally arrives, something strange happens. The freedom feels overwhelming at first, but here's what researchers discovered that might surprise you. The happiest seniors aren't the ones lounging by the pool all day. They're the ones rolling up their sleeves and helping others. Volunteering transforms retirement from a long vacation into something far more powerful, a chance to matter again. Makes sense, right? After decades of contributing to society through work, suddenly stopping can feel like you've been benched from the game of life. Well, volunteering puts you right back in the starting lineup. The science behind this is fascinating. When you help others, your brain releases the same feel-good chemicals that make people addicted to exercise. Except instead of sweating through a workout, you're reading to kids at the library or serving meals at a community kitchen. Your body literally rewards you for being kind. Talk about a win-win situation. Then there's the loneliness factor, which hits seniors harder than most people realize. Retirement can feel isolating when your work friends drift away and adult children get busy with their own lives. But volunteering, it's like joining a ready-made community of people who actually want to spend time together doing good things. No small talk about the weather required. You're all there with a shared purpose. Here's where it gets really interesting. Senior volunteers consistently report higher life satisfaction rates than their non-volunteering peers. We're not talking about a small difference either. Studies show the happiness boost from volunteering can be equivalent to a significant salary increase, except instead of getting paid in dollars, you're getting paid in purpose. And the weird part is, the more experienced you are, the more valuable you become as a volunteer. Organizations aren't looking for fresh-faced college graduates to run their literacy programs or mentor struggling entrepreneurs. They want someone who's been around the block, made mistakes, learned lessons, and can share real wisdom. Your wrinkles aren't signs of aging, they're credentials. Let's not forget the teaching opportunities that come with volunteering. Remember that skill you developed over 30 years in your career? The one that feels so natural you barely think about it anymore? Someone desperately needs to learn exactly that. Whether it's helping adults learn to read, teaching basic computer skills, or showing teenagers how to balance a checkbook, your knowledge becomes someone else's breakthrough moment. But why does teaching feel so rewarding? Because it flips the script on aging. Instead of being seen as someone who needs help, you become the person providing solutions. That shift in perspective doesn't just feel good, it rewires how you see yourself. You're not getting older and less relevant, you're getting older and more valuable. Community gardens need experienced hands who actually know which end of a plant goes in the ground. Animal shelters need patient people who don't mind if a nervous dog takes a while to warm up. Museums need folks who can stand for hours and genuinely enjoy talking to strangers about history. Food banks need organized minds that can turn chaos into systems. Every single one of these places values something that comes naturally with age, patience, reliability, and the wisdom to know that most problems have solutions if you just stick with them long enough. The beautiful thing about volunteering is how it sneaks up on you. You might start by thinking you're just helping others, but then you realize they're helping you right back. That shy kid you're teaching to read, they're also teaching you that your time has incredible value. The elderly person you visit at the nursing home, they're reminding you that connection matters more than almost anything else. Organizations have caught on to this mutual benefit too. They've learned that seniors aren't just reliable volunteers, they're often the backbone of their operations. While younger volunteers might show up enthusiastically for a few months, then disappear when life gets complicated, senior volunteers tend to stick around. They show up on time, follow through on commitments, and bring a level of emotional intelligence that only comes from living through decades of human experience. The ripple effects extend far beyond the volunteer work itself. When you have somewhere important to be, you take better care of yourself. You get up earlier, dress better, stay mentally sharper. The responsibility keeps you accountable in ways that pure leisure never could. Research consistently shows that seniors who volunteer regularly live longer, report better physical health, and maintain cognitive function better than those who don't. It's almost like helping others tricks your body into staying younger. Your immune system gets stronger, your risk of depression drops, and your sense of purpose soars. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of volunteering isn't what it does for your health or happiness, it's how it connects you to something bigger than yourself. After spending hobbies discovering personal joy and activities boosting your individual energy, there's something uniquely satisfying about expanding that circle outward. Yet, even the most fulfilling volunteer work can't replace another crucial ingredient for senior happiness. Friends aren't just nice to have around. They're actually medicine for your happiness. That might sound dramatic, but research backs it up completely. Seniors who spend regular time with friends show measurably higher happiness levels than those who go it alone. Makes sense, right? Well, there's more to it than just having someone to chat with over coffee. The weird part is how powerful social connections become as we age. A study tracking thousands of older adults found that those with strong friendships were 50% more likely to survive over a 7-year period compared to those with weaker social ties. Your buddy from book club isn't just helping you discuss plot twists, they're literally helping you live longer and happier. But here's the catch. Many seniors wait for friendships to come to them instead of actively seeking them out. Joining clubs changes everything. Chess clubs, garden clubs, hiking groups, bridge tournaments. The activity almost doesn't matter as much as the regular gathering does. Members of organized social groups report life satisfaction scores that are 23% higher than people who don't participate in group activities. That's a massive difference. What makes clubs so special? They give you something to look forward to every week. Built-in conversation topics and shared experiences that naturally deepen relationships over time. Community centers have figured this out perfectly. They're basically happiness factories disguised as buildings. Walk into any thriving senior center and you'll see groups playing cards, taking art classes, sharing meals, and laughing together. The magic happens in those everyday moments. When someone remembers your grandchild's name, when the whole table erupts over a funny story, when you realize you've been chatting for 3 hours without checking the clock once. Then there's the depression connection that doctors can't ignore anymore. Social support from friends acts like a shield against depression in older adults. People with strong friend networks show 70% lower rates of depression compared to socially isolated seniors. Your brain literally processes stress differently when you know supportive friends have your back. The stress hormone cortisol drops significantly after positive social interactions. Friendship isn't just emotional support, it's biological protection. Book clubs deserve special mention here because they hit multiple happiness triggers simultaneously. You're reading regularly, which keeps your mind sharp. You're meeting people consistently, which builds relationships. You're discussing ideas, which stimulates your brain. And you're usually eating snacks together, which makes everything more enjoyable. One retirement community started a mystery book club that became so popular they had to split into 3 groups. Members say it's the highlight of their week. Let's not forget about hobby-based friendships, which often become the strongest connections of all. When you bond with someone over shared interests, whether it's woodworking, photography, or collecting vintage postcards, the friendship has built-in depth. You're not just making small talk. You're sharing something you genuinely care about. These friendships tend to be more resilient because they're based on mutual passion rather than just convenience. But what about making new friends when you're older? The process feels different than it did at 20, but it's actually more straightforward in some ways. Older adults tend to be more direct about their interests and less worried about social performance. You can simply show up to activities you enjoy and talk to people who are doing the same thing. The shared context makes conversation natural. Group meals might be the most underrated happiness booster in senior communities. Eating together triggers something primal in humans, a sense of belonging and security that goes back thousands of years. Seniors who regularly eat meals with friends report better appetite, better digestion, and significantly better mood compared to those who usually eat alone. Some assisted living facilities have discovered that switching from individual meal delivery to communal dining dramatically improved residents' mental health scores. The friendship effect compounds over time too. As relationships deepen, the happiness benefits increase. New friendships provide excitement and novelty. Long-term friendships offer comfort and understanding. The ideal social circle includes both: familiar faces who know your history and new connections who bring fresh perspectives and energy. Technology has opened surprising new friendship possibilities as well. Online communities for seniors are exploding in popularity, connecting people with shared interests across geographic boundaries. Virtual book clubs, online game groups, and social media communities designed for older adults are creating meaningful relationships that often transition into real-world meetups. Here's something most people don't realize: the quality of friendships matters more than the quantity. Research shows that having 3 close, supportive friends provides more happiness benefits than having 12 casual acquaintances. Deep connections where you can be completely yourself, share real concerns, and celebrate genuine victories. Those relationships are pure gold for your mental health. Social connections work like compound interest for happiness. Each positive interaction builds on the last one, creating an upward spiral of well-being that touches every aspect of life. Speaking of upward spirals, there's another happiness multiplier that seniors often overlook, one that combines social connection with adventure and feeds the brain in ways that surprise researchers. Remember when travel meant something completely different? When stepping onto foreign soil felt like entering another world entirely? Well, here's the thing about aging: those feelings don't disappear. They actually get stronger. Your sense of wonder sharpens when you realize how many stories the world still holds, waiting for you to discover them. Travel at any age sparks something primal in our brains, but for seniors, it does something even more remarkable. The anticipation alone floods your system with dopamine, that feel-good chemical that makes everything seem brighter. Planning a trip, researching destinations, even arguing about the best route creates neural pathways that literally rewire your brain for happiness. Makes sense, right? But wait, there's a twist most people miss. You don't need to board a plane to another continent. Day trips work like magic too. A 2-hour drive to a small town you've never visited triggers the same excitement response as flying to Paris. Your brain doesn't measure distance, it measures novelty. That farmers market 3 counties over, your neurons treat it like an expedition. The real magic happens when seniors travel in groups. Breaking routine together creates bonds that solitary Netflix marathons simply can't match. Shared experiences, getting lost together, discovering that hole-in-the-wall restaurant, laughing about missed turns, these moments cement relationships in ways that surprise even researchers. Group travel combines adventure with social connection, hitting 2 happiness triggers simultaneously. Then, there's the food factor, and this gets fascinating. Trying new cuisines literally exercises your brain. Every unfamiliar flavor forces your taste buds to send fresh signals to your nervous system. Thai curry when you've eaten meat and potatoes for decades, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. Japanese sushi after a lifetime of sandwiches, neural fireworks. This isn't just about expanding your palate, it's cognitive cross-training. Cultural immersion works similarly. Learning that people in other places solve problems differently, celebrate differently, even argue differently stretches your mental flexibility. A 70-year-old discovering how Italians approach family dinners or how Scandinavians design their cities experiences genuine cognitive enhancement. Your assumptions get challenged in the gentlest possible way. Well, here's what researchers discovered that nobody talks about. Travel helps seniors develop what scientists call cognitive reserve. Every new experience, navigating unfamiliar streets, deciphering foreign customs, adapting to different rhythms, builds mental resilience. Your brain becomes more adaptable, more creative at solving problems. It's like strength training for your mind, except way more fun than lifting weights. Local exploration deserves special mention because it's criminally underrated. Historic districts in your own state often hold surprises that international destinations can't match. That covered bridge 40 minutes away? The story behind it might fascinate you more than European architecture. Regional museums, scenic byways, quirky roadside attractions, they're all brain food disguised as simple entertainment. The transportation itself matters too. Bus tours eliminate driving stress while maximizing social interaction. Train travel offers scenery and conversation. Even carpooling with friends transforms the journey into part of the adventure. The weird part is how seniors often discover they enjoy the getting there as much as the being there. And the weird part is how travel confidence builds on itself. Successfully navigating one new place makes the next destination feel less intimidating. Seniors who start with local day trips often find themselves booking week-long adventures within months. Each positive experience erases another "I'm too old for this" barrier. Studies consistently show that seniors who travel regularly maintain sharper cognitive function longer than those who stay home. The constant mild challenges, reading maps, making decisions, adapting to change, keep mental gears turning smoothly. Travel becomes preventive medicine disguised as fun. Let's not forget the storytelling benefit. Every trip generates stories that can entertain family and friends for years. Grandchildren who might tune out lectures about the good old days will hang on every word of your mishap in Maine or your discovery in Delaware. Travel gives you fresh material for social connection. The memory formation during travel gets enhanced too. Novel experiences create stronger, more detailed memories than routine activities. That explains why you can recall every detail of a 3-day trip from last year, but can't remember what you had for lunch Tuesday. Travel memories become treasures that appreciate over time. Budget concerns often stop seniors from exploring, but creative solutions abound. Off-season travel, group discounts, senior rates, house swapping, and choosing destinations based on value rather than prestige all make adventure affordable. Sometimes the most memorable trips cost the least. Travel fundamentally changes how you see your place in the world. It reminds you that life extends far beyond your daily routine, that interesting people and beautiful places exist everywhere. This perspective shift alone can revolutionize your happiness levels, but discovering the world through travel is just one way to feed your curiosity. What happens when you decide to challenge your mind in completely different ways, right from the comfort of home? Your brain doesn't come with an expiration date. That's probably the most liberating thing you'll hear today. While everyone seems obsessed with decline and forgetting where they put their keys, science keeps proving the opposite. Seniors who actively learn new things don't just stay sharp, they actually get happier, way happier. Here's what most people miss about learning later in life. It's not about proving you're still smart or keeping up with younger folks. Learning as a senior feels completely different because you're doing it purely for joy. No grades to worry about, no career pressure, no one judging your progress except you. That freedom changes everything about how your brain responds to new information. Take language learning, for instance. Most people think it's too late after 50. Wrong, dead wrong. Research from the University of Edinburgh found that seniors who learned a second language showed improved memory, better problem-solving skills, and enhanced mental flexibility. The brain literally rewrites itself, creating new neural pathways like a city building fresh roads. Plus, there's something delightfully rebellious about mastering Spanish conjugations at 70 when everyone expects you to be slowing down. But the happiness boost goes deeper than just brain benefits. When you're learning, you enter what psychologists call flow state, that magical zone where time disappears and worries fade. Remember being so absorbed in something that hours felt like minutes? Learning triggers that same feeling. Whether you're decoding Italian grammar or figuring out how to use a smartphone app, your mind becomes completely present. Anxiety can't survive in that space. Technology classes deserve special mention here because they're game changers for independence. Sure, smartphones might seem designed by aliens sometimes, but mastering them opens up entire worlds. Video calls with grandkids who live far away. Online shopping when mobility becomes challenging. Banking from your couch instead of waiting in lines. The confidence boost from conquering technology fear? Absolutely priceless. Then there's the social aspect nobody talks about enough. Learning environments naturally create friendships. Community college courses, library workshops, senior center classes, they're all relationship goldmines. You're sitting next to people facing similar challenges, celebrating small victories together, probably laughing at the same struggles. Shared learning experiences bond people faster than almost anything else. Reading regularly might seem obvious, but here's the twist. It's not just about books anymore. Online articles, magazines, even well-written social media posts count. The key is engaging with ideas that challenge your thinking. Mystery novels train your brain to follow complex plots and remember details. Biographies teach you about different time periods and perspectives. Even romance novels boost emotional intelligence by exploring human relationships. Your brain doesn't care if it's Shakespeare or a beach read, it just wants to work. Online learning platforms have revolutionized senior education. Websites like Coursera and YouTube offer free courses on literally everything. Art history from Yale professors, cooking techniques from professional chefs, science explanations that actually make sense. You can pause when you need to, replay confusing parts, and learn at whatever pace feels comfortable. No rushing to keep up with classmates half your age. Learning new skills also provides concrete evidence that you're still growing. Every small success, remembering 10 new words in French, successfully sending your first email attachment, understanding how photosynthesis works, becomes proof that your capabilities haven't peaked. That evidence fights back against ageist stereotypes, both from society and from your own inner critic. The memory improvements from regular learning create positive feedback loops. As you get better at remembering new information, you feel more confident tackling even more challenging subjects. Confidence breeds curiosity. Curiosity leads to exploration. Exploration brings joy. It's a beautiful cycle that feeds itself. Music theory, photography basics, genealogy research, astronomy. The subjects don't matter nearly as much as the act of learning itself. Some seniors discover they have natural talents they never knew existed. Others finally pursue interests they postponed for decades while raising families and building careers. Both paths lead to increased life satisfaction. Libraries have become learning headquarters for many seniors. Free computer classes, book clubs, lecture series, research assistants. They offer way more than just books now. Librarians love helping people discover new interests and often know about resources you'd never find on your own. The beautiful irony about senior learning is that it makes you feel younger, not older. Your mind stays curious and flexible instead of becoming rigid and closed off. You maintain that childlike wonder about how things work and why they matter. Makes sense, right? Learning connects you to the larger world instead of letting you shrink into a smaller one. Each new piece of knowledge becomes a bridge to understanding current events, connecting with different generations, or appreciating things you previously ignored. While we're talking about staying connected to the world, there's another powerful way to boost happiness that takes you beyond classrooms and computers into something that's been proven to heal both body and soul. There's something magical about stepping outside that happens before you even realize it. Your shoulders drop, your breathing deepens, that tight feeling in your chest starts to melt away like ice cream on a summer day. Scientists have been studying this outdoor effect for years, and what they found is pretty remarkable. Just 20 minutes in nature can lower your stress hormones by 21%. That's better than some medications, and the only side effect is maybe getting a little dirt on your shoes. But here's where it gets interesting. You don't need to climb Mount Everest or trek through the Amazon rainforest. A simple walk around your neighborhood park does the trick. Your brain doesn't care if it's looking at 1,000-year-old redwoods or the maple tree in your backyard. Nature is nature, and your mind treats it all like a natural pharmacy. Walking outdoors gives you a double boost that indoor treadmills can't match. Sure, you're moving your body, which is great, but your eyes are also taking in all those natural patterns. The way leaves flutter, how clouds drift, the random way birds hop around. This visual variety actually helps your brain relax in ways that staring at a gym wall never could. Then there's bird watching, which might sound boring until you try it. Suddenly, you're a detective trying to figure out if that flash of red was a cardinal or something else entirely. Your attention gets focused like a laser beam, and all those worrying thoughts about bills or doctor appointments just fade into the background. Plus, birds are surprisingly entertaining. Ever watched a squirrel try to rate a squirrel-proof bird feeder better than cable TV? The really clever part about spending time outdoors is how it tricks your brain into being more curious. When you're inside the same four walls every day, everything becomes predictable. But step outside and there's always something new. A flower you hadn't noticed before. A neighbor's cat doing something ridiculous. Kids playing a game you remember from 50 years ago. Growing plants, whether it's tomatoes on a windowsill or a full garden in your backyard, connects you to something bigger than daily worries. There's something deeply satisfying about putting a tiny seed in the ground and watching it become something you can eat or enjoy. It's like having a front row seat to a miracle that happens in slow motion. Natural sunlight deserves its own spotlight here. Your body has been designed over thousands of years to work with the sun's rhythms. When you get morning sunlight in your eyes, it helps set your internal clock so you sleep better at night. It's like having a personal assistant for your sleep schedule, and it works better than any app. The vitamin D boost from sunlight is just a bonus. What really matters is how natural light affects your energy levels throughout the day. People who spend time in natural light report feeling more alert during the day and more ready for sleep when evening comes. Makes sense, right? Even something as simple as sitting on a bench in a park can shift your entire day. You're not just getting fresh air, you're giving your mind permission to wander. When was the last time you let your thoughts drift without a screen in front of you? It's like giving your brain a vacation from constant stimulation. The sounds of nature work differently on your nervous system than city noise or television chatter. Water flowing, leaves rustling, birds chirping. These sounds actually help lower your blood pressure. Your body recognizes these as safe, peaceful sounds, unlike the jarring noise of traffic or construction. Here's something most people don't realize. Being outdoors changes how you breathe. Indoor air is often stale and recycled, but outside, especially near trees or water, the air quality is different. You naturally start breathing deeper and slower. This sends a signal to your brain that everything is okay, which helps reduce anxiety. Gardening, even if it's just tending a few potted plants, gives you something to look forward to each day. Will the tomatoes be riper? Did the flowers open more? These small daily discoveries create little pockets of joy that accumulate over time. The weird part is how quickly the outdoor effect kicks in. You don't need hours of hiking to feel better. Even 5 minutes of sitting outside can start to shift your mood. It's like nature has a fast-acting reset button for your mental state. Weather doesn't have to stop you either. Watching rain from a covered porch, feeling a cool breeze on a cloudy day, or even stepping outside to check if snow is still falling, these brief moments of connection with the natural world still count. While outdoor time naturally leads to feeling better, there's another piece of the happiness puzzle that works even when you're stuck inside on a rainy day. The most powerful happiness boosters for seniors aren't always the big adventures or exciting hobbies. Sometimes it's the quiet, everyday rhythms that create the deepest sense of well-being. But here's what most people miss. These daily routines need to be intentional, not just habits we fall into by accident. Starting your morning the same way each day might sound boring, but research shows it actually reduces cortisol levels by up to 23%. Your brain loves predictability. When you know what comes next, anxiety drops and energy increases. The trick is building routines that feed your soul, not just fill time. Take gratitude journaling. Sounds cheesy, right? Well, seniors who write down 3 good things each day show measurable improvements in mood within just 1 week. Your brain literally rewires itself to notice positive moments instead of dwelling on problems. And the weird part is, it works even when you don't believe it will at first. Then there's the power of small goals. Forget climbing mountains or learning Mandarin in 6 months. The happiest seniors set tiny, achievable targets every single day. Maybe it's calling one friend, reading 10 pages, or organizing one drawer. These micro-victories release the same dopamine hit as major accomplishments, but without the pressure or risk of failure. Let's not forget the role of spiritual practices, whether that's prayer, meditation, or just sitting quietly for 10 minutes. Studies from Harvard Medical School found that seniors with regular spiritual routines report 30% higher life satisfaction scores. It doesn't matter what you believe in. The act of connecting to something bigger than daily worries creates lasting peace. But here's where it gets interesting. Laughter therapy is now a legitimate medical field because humor triggers the release of endorphins, lowers blood pressure, and boosts immune function. Seniors who watch comedy shows or share jokes with friends have stronger hearts and sharper minds. Your grandmother was onto something when she said laughter is the best medicine. Morning routines work best when they include at least 3 elements: something for your body, something for your mind, and something for your spirit. Maybe that's stretching, reading the newspaper and saying a prayer, or dancing to old music, doing a crossword puzzle, and writing in a journal. The combination matters more than the specific activities. Mindfulness doesn't require sitting cross-legged chanting Om. For seniors, it can be as simple as really tasting your morning coffee or noticing the sounds outside your window. When researchers tracked seniors practicing 5-minute mindfulness exercises, they found significant reductions in chronic pain and depression symptoms within a month. The beauty of meaningful routines is they create anticipation. When you have something pleasant to look forward to each day, your brain starts producing happiness chemicals before the activity even begins. That's why seniors who establish consistent tea times, puzzle hours, or phone call schedules report feeling more optimistic about tomorrow. Evening routines prove just as important as morning ones. Writing down one thing you're grateful for and one thing you learned creates what psychologists call positive closure. Your brain processes the day's experiences more effectively, leading to better sleep and improved memory consolidation. Plus, you wake up in a better mood. Setting up these routines doesn't happen overnight, though. Start with one small change and stick with it for 2 weeks before adding anything else. Your brain needs time to form new neural pathways. Rushing the process usually leads to giving up entirely, which defeats the purpose. Technology can support these routines without overwhelming them. Simple reminder apps help seniors stay consistent, while audiobooks or meditation apps add variety. But the key is keeping technology as a tool, not the main event. Human connection and personal reflection still matter most. Weather affects routine success more than most people realize. Having indoor and outdoor versions of your favorite activities prevents disruption. If you usually walk in the park but it's raining, having a backup plan keeps your routine alive. Consistency beats perfection every single time. The most successful seniors treat their daily routines like appointments with themselves, non-negotiable time investments in their own happiness. They understand that small, repeated actions compound into major life improvements over months and years. Creating structure doesn't mean becoming rigid. The best routines have built-in flexibility. Maybe Mondays are for phone calls, but which friend you call depends on your mood. Maybe afternoons are for reading, but the genre changes based on what interests you that day. And here's something fascinating. Seniors with established daily routines show better cognitive function as they age. The brain thrives on patterns it can predict and build upon. Meaningful routines become the foundation that supports all other happiness-building activities. These daily practices create the stable foundation that makes everything else possible. When your days have rhythm and purpose, you're ready to explore what might be the most overlooked happiness source of all: